Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks for the 11th of July. So we're going to cover Atlassian, which we normally cover, but I'm also going to cover today Twist Bioscience and Roku. Now, Roku is a digital media company, and Twist Bioscience is basically synthetic DNA biotechnology, so founded back in 2013. Anyway, with Atlassian here, the software developing company from Australia, we've been tracking this from wave 4 here as wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and wave 3 here. We had a bit of a rough wave 4 here, and then the push up for wave 5, which we're trading long in at the moment. So our target is 200 here, but it looks like it's struggling a little bit to get right there. So we'll take a closer look at this now. So from the daily chart, we'll go to the 4-hour chart here and just look at the wave 4 triangle pattern from wave 3, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here, and then the push up here. So we didn't quite just reach that target there, so we'll need to do something about that and protect our positions there. Now, normally what happens when we reach a level here, as you may know, we use the classic trading levels pattern. So if we just take a look at this for a moment, if we can imagine that this line through here is the 200 here, so we're just at the arrival stage, so we should expect some sort of correction here, then a push up, and then another correction through here. Now, there are 3 types of patterns that can occur at levels. This is the classic trading levels pattern. There's the variation on this here, which is this one here, where it doesn't drop below the level. But in all cases, we're looking for the first high above the level. That's part of the setup process. So basically, we trade to here, we get out, and then we wait for the market to have one of its corrections. So we'll always look for the first high above the level here. If we can see a setup from here in terms of trading, then we'll look at this trade up through here, and it may not drop below the level. The other pattern here is the overshoot pattern, and the overshoot pattern does not stop at the level here. It just burns straight through and then peters out and drops back. And generally speaking, the distance above will be the distance below it drops. And what it's doing, it's finding its balance line, which will be the 200 in this case, to come in and eventually find support and move on from that point. In all cases, they're continuation patterns, but we just need to, there's 2 different ways of obviously handling the situation, and Trading Lounge will eventually have a little group of portfolios, and they will be long-term holds, and we wouldn't really necessarily be getting out at certain levels. The other account that we'll be having will be just simply trading, so shorter term trading, and that means that when we reach a level, we'll be getting out, and then we save all this time here. We can be using our money in another stock that's got a setup, and then we eventually find this one and we'll be back in on it over here. So basically, markets are trends and corrections of different degrees, and we'll manage that situation through that. So in this case here, we know we've got a wave 4 because we've got a triangle, so the wave 5 won't push up that much. So we could already have a top in play here. So let's go to the 1-hour chart here, where our trade is here. So we've had a trade on here and here, and last time we spoke, we obviously talked about taking some percentages up at this top here. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bring this stop up here. So with the stops here, normally I'd like to leave it at 86 here. So that's where I would normally leave it, but it's bringing us back to this position through here. So what we're going to do here, this move so far down, I can't get into the tick chart on this one. It just, for some reason, the computer's not giving, the data feed's not giving me the tick data here. It's just giving me data to the end here. But I'm assuming that we've got 5 waves up into this space here already. But we've got this 3-wave move here, which is corrective. Then we've got this little move here, which to me has got overlapping wave structures in it. So it could certainly drop at that point. So we need to look to our levels. So obviously the closest largest number is 190 there. So when we talk about the next, that support, so the next level down would be group 2 here, which would be 8. 720 in here, and it's 86, so 8650 in here. So all of that is group 2 there. I would like to leave this further down here, below group 2 here from the 90, because I think this can just sort of spike down here and then possibly move up from that point. So I don't know. I'll leave it with you. I mean, the stop should technically go at 86 here. However, we really want to protect what we've got now. So what we'll do is we'll just take a bit of a risk, and we'll just pop it under that, whatever that low there is, and we'll keep it at that point there. So you don't put it on the low here. Let's just check what that price is. Let's just get into this a little bit. So that price there is 189.07. So 189, we should just go under that a tad here. So 189, that's 189 there. So then we're into 98. So we're talking micro levels now. So 98. We don't want to be at 8 because all the orders will build up at 8. 8's a strong number. 7 and 6. So we could go to 96. We'll go to 92. So it's either, most of my stops will end in a 6 or 2. So we'll go to 90, 88, 92. I'm not that happy with it, but we'll put that there for that. And I better make a note of that there. So that was 88, 92. There we go. I get a bit forgetful about things. I haven't lost my mind yet, but it's hard to keep abreast of everything. So writing things down is always good. Get rid of that. We don't need these here. So, I mean, if you wanted to leave it at 86, well, then that's probably the right thing to do. But I'm just going to be doing this here for that. Roughly there, so I'll put that there, and then we'll know about that. So I'm just going to leave that at that. We've had a trade here. When it's taking profit here, we'll be taking anywhere from 50% to 80, 70%. So most of it's already tucked in there. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll just see if we get lucky and it moves up. But as I mentioned, what we're looking for here is the first high above the level. So whatever happens here, we're looking for, I'd say this is the first reaction here. We're looking for the first high above the level and then an ABC pattern through here for that. Okay, I want to move on. So the next 2 stocks are new for us, and they're part of the 130 group that I've developed, and I still need to go through that 130 and refine that a little bit. But that is Roku and Twist. So we'll go to Twist first because I can see it first. And we'll just go to the weekly or the hourly, and I still need to do work on this as well. So, but anyway, you know how I work. When I start with a stock, we just pretty much all start together with it. And so one of the things here that I see with this pattern across here is that this, I think, is all corrective here, because if I take that low just here, we can see, can we count this up as 5? I could count that to 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that overlaps here and so on. So it's pretty messy. I reckon this is a correction. I don't know if it's 2 or 4 here for that. I don't know that. But what I do know is that when I see a market that's been going sideways like this here. This is what's called the accumulation process, and this here is the distribution process. Now, that's Richard Wyckoff's work back in the days of Gann and Elliott and all those dudes. He was the first one to, Richard Wyckoff was the first one to get the price and volume relationship together. So what he would do is he would like take the distance of this unit for unit across here, that distance there, and then stand it on its head up here to square the time and the price here. So when I see a market that's been going sideways for so long, a fantastic opportunity to start moving into that. Obviously, we're moving in here really late with this, but that's okay. There's still a fair way to go in this. So my counting so far, I've got this as 1 and 2 in here, and then 1 and 2 here. Now I may have to reassess that. I need to spend some time with these. This is just my first flyover, if you will, and I'm not sure if wave 2 goes on this low or this low here. I've tried to look in it. Once again, on the tick chart here, it's not allowing me to go far enough back to look into this. Just for some reason, the platform won't allow me to get in. So yeah, it's a little bit sort of tricky, but what I can say with this is that, even at minimum here, you can see that the power is just in here at the moment. So this is, each trend's got a beginning, a middle and an end. So we would have to say that all this here in one way or another is the beginning of the trend here. This is certainly becoming in the middle of the trend here. And then we would need the end of the trend here. So we can get into here. We just got to kind of figure out where to buy in this case. So on the 4-hour chart here, so as I mentioned before, I don't know if that's low of wave 2 or this one here is wave 2. I can count a rough 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1 and back for 2 here. So it's possible. And then I've been on the hourly chart here counting all of this here, but I need to get into the tick chart to really resolve that problem. I need to look into it here. So this market has just burned straight through the 50, 5 being the second strongest number. So normally we'll just see this come all the way back down into this space here, and then have it sort of correction and move up from that point there. But what's happened at the moment also too is that it's given us this first high above the level here. So really that's a bit of a catalyst to go long at that part there, but I'm thinking as long-term holds in a portfolio, if we could get anywhere back near the 50, that would be great. So that's what we'll try and do. So anywhere between 52 and 48, I'm thinking in here. So 42 is about here somewhere. But anyway, as you can see here, I still need to get into the tick chart to pull this apart as well. It's a bit tricky to see, but I can see that it's got some, this is just on the hourly chart here. So once again, if I just get some reference points here, if I just copy this for a moment here and just put wave 2 there, and just to pull you into where we are at the moment. So move this. I don't know if wave 2 is here or if wave 2 is here for this. That's what I don't know at this stage. But I'll get there eventually. It's probably here, and then I can readjust. I can push all these up one degree, but I can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and ABC here. I can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We've got the correction here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2, and then I can see that 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave's 1, 2, strong third wave here, fourth and fifth here for the thirds and fourth. So I'm hoping that will pull back here. This would pull back to 38.2% retracement level. Brings us in around the $52 mark here for this. So that's why I'm thinking 52. So we could look to scale into this. I'll keep a bit of an eye on this. Yeah, so anyway, the setup's not there yet. Would only be chasing it. If this top went out here, then it's okay to chase it. But otherwise, let's just allow this to pull back, and let's see where it pulls back to here. But we can also go along above here for the shorter term. This market's certainly got further to go up in either way that I look at it here. So just see what we can get out of this here. But anyway, just recapping this a little bit here, just on the daily chart here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, we've got wave. I mean, wave one could possibly go here as well. I need to check that. But either way, this is the beginning of the trend. We're still, this is also the beginning of the middle here, and we've still got further to go up. So this is the next level up here. Well, it's not quite the next level. The next major level is 80, and halfway between that is 65 here. I know that 65 doesn't really seem much to anybody, but you'll just see when we get there of what it does. So there's still plenty of scope within this market, I mean, and not even this should go much higher. So this to me is like $100 stock here, trading close to 50. So we got time with this, and yeah. Okay, next one is Roku. So let's check that out. LMNOPQR. So here we go. So once again, with this stock here, we've got this trend up through here. This is all the data I've got on it here. Let me just double check on the weekly here. That's all the data I've got there. Let me just check on my other end of day charting program, where I buy the data from, and they've got plenty. So yep, that's it. That's all the data on this particular stock. So it came in back here, and yeah. So what I can see here, I'm not too sure what this is here. I can obviously see this is a 3-wave correction here. I just don't know if it's wave 2 or wave 4. But I do know that it's corrective. I do know that we'll be taking out these tops here. This stock will end up way up here somewhere. So we're right at the beginning of this particular trend here. So if I go to the daily chart here, so as I mentioned, I don't know if we should call this wave 2 or 4, probably 2. And then we've got this pattern unwinding here, unfolding here. So from wave 1 here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1. Pull back 50 or 60%, sitting on the major level here of 100. The next major level is 200, and the 150 is the medium level here. So this 150 here is going to give us our opportunity to get into this stock as a long-term hold or a trade. That needs to be adjusted to here. And let's just go to the 4-hour chart here for a moment. So this is the 4-hour chart. So we don't know what this is. This is a 1 or 2 down here, or 4. A 2 or 4. I'm assuming it's 2, but I need to get familiar with this first. But I do know this is wave 1 and wave 2 here. And then I pull this apart. We can look at this as 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, because we've got overlapping wave structures here. So we can look at this. This is the correct way to look at this. So the 150 here, the medium level here, is going to give us our opportunity to move into this stock. So really, as you can see here, it's had its arrival and reaction. It's got its first high above the level. So we're kind of halfway through this situation here. So it would be nice to pick it up at 145, and we'll play around with that a little bit and see where we end up with this. But yeah, it's not such a big deal here. It would have been nice to get it off the 130 support here, off the top of group 1 here, because we know that markets move quite quickly between 3 and 5 in both directions, and also between 5 and 8 in both directions. Always a bit slower in the group 1 business here, but yeah. And also too, we know that once we get support on top of group 1 here, then the next target is the 5, and we're at the 5. So normally if you're trading long, taking a, this, what have we got here on the hourly chart here, and do we have the tick chart here? Let me just go in here. Okay, tick charts here. So let me just bring in some more data here. Let's go back. Okay, so looking at 1, 2, coming back here, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, and 2 here, and then 1 here, and 2 here. I still got to do more work with this here. I'm not sure. I still got to work this count out through here, but I'm not that fussed about that. I'll get to that in due course. We're just looking for a setup. So if that's the top there, then we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here. Nice fourth wave here, trying to pull back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, and then down for the fifth wave here. So the way that I see this is that we've got, let me just work this a little bit better. We'll call that the A, B, and C. It's like going to kindergarten, isn't it? So we know that's 5 waves here for wave A here. We'll be looking for a B wave that may be in play there, I don't know, but we'll also look for a C wave. There should be some equality between the A and the A and the C should have some equality in it. That's why I'm thinking we should be able to get it back at 145, 148, 145. I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep an eye on it. And if you're a member of tradinglounge.com, well then you'll get that trade and we'll update that. So yeah, I won't pay too much attention to this at this stage. I still got to pull all this apart. There's more work to be done in all of this here, but I'll just pop that there for the time being. And the other side to look at this too, if that count is correct. And I don't know, I haven't checked it. So if somebody wants to check it, that's great. That's 38.2% retracement level at 148 roughly there. So we may end up just being sort of having a short wave C there. The wave C may only be 61.8% of wave A here. So anyway, but that will give us our second high. That will also give us entry as well in that space. Alrighty, I've rambled on enough, but I'll just go back over this one here for a moment. So with Roku here, I don't know if this is wave 2 or 4 just yet. I can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and I'm thinking this is 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2, and there's a whole swath here that's not unfolded yet. So we're still looking for, even from here, we're looking at 1 and 2 in here, and 3 in here, roughly 4 here, and then 5 up here. Then there'll be a 4 and a 5 and a 4 and a 5. This 3 here will be up here somewhere. That 4 will be here, will be up here, and 3 will be up there, and Bob's your uncle. Or Happy as Larry. Don't know who those guys are, but certainly characters, obviously. So there we go. That's enough for today. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.